Hey girls, Maria Menounos here, author of the Every Girl's Guide to Life. Want to know my best tips and secrets for organization, travel, weight loss, beauty, fashion, and everything else in between? Go to bing.com/Maria and pick up my new book, The Every Girl's Guide to Life.
You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, this is AfterBuzz TV for the United States of Tara. Tonight's host is DJ Jesse Janedy. Joining Jesse will be AfterBuzz co-hosts Aaron LaRosa and David Schiffeliti. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest United States of Tara news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, DJ Jesse Janedy.
Yo, what up, AfterBuzzers? It's your boy DJ Jesse Janedy, and unfortunately, Erin is not with us tonight.
No, Erin.
She's busy teaching and doing other important things.
Being a real adult.
But because she wasn't here for Nurse Jackie, we ran out to the streets and we've replaced her with Allie. Hello, Allie.
Hello.
How are you,
Welcome.
Allie?
I'm super.
You're super. Allie
Yes.
hopefully will be joining us on the United States of Terror.
Hopefully.
If me and David don't scare her tonight.
I know, right?
And before we get started,
Yeah.
David was a little shy with Nurse Jackie
I
today.
know. Sorry.
But that's before we get into that. Allie, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, well, I am a graduate student at the University of Southern California.
Fancy.
I know, right? And not that fancy. Everyone else is fancy. I'm just sort of not.
Good.
Studying professional writing. I'm in that program to eventually write for TV.
Very nice.
Very nice.
David, what are your credentials? Just kidding. What do you have to plug for us tonight?
You put me on the spot. I got really nervous. I was like, I watch a lot of TV.
I do stuff.
I like to do my laundry while I watch TV.
Folding.
And I fold stuff. Okay, so I have for you two things. Tomorrow night at the King in Hollywood, Erin's going to be performing her Mortified show. It is at 8 p.m. And to get tickets, go to getmortified.com/live. I don't know how much they are, but it's at 8 p.m. at the King in Hollywood. So if you can make it, come support Erin. She's going to be doing a reading. It should be really, really fun.
Very nice.
Very nice. And then on Saturday, this Saturday, May 21st, I'm going to be performing in a benefit for the AIDS Life Cycle.
Nice. What will you be performing?
Well, Erin and I are going to actually perform together.
Get out of town.
Yeah, it's going to be really cute.
Is it cute or is it? It's got to be comedy.
It's going to be awesome. No, it's not comedy. We're doing a scene from Angels in America.
Really?
Yes, it's a good one. So come and see us. Tickets for that are at brownpaperbagtickets.com/event/176609. It's 176609. And it's at the Madrid Theater in Canoga Park. Canoga?
And what time?
From 8 to 11.
Nice.
8 to 11. It's going to be pretty amazing.
See, David,
amazing.
You do stuff other than just watch TV.
Yeah.
When he's not out saving the world.
When I'm not out saving the world.
I'm
I
home
do-
folding laundry.
When I'm watching TV.
All right. United States Terra.
I don't know what that noise was. Sorry.
The sound of angels falling.
It
It's our
was.
favorite
It
TV
was.
show.
It was. It really is.
I love the show because they fit so much into it, and
It feels like such a long show for being 30 minutes. It feels so long, and so much happens, and they fit it in so great. It's like,
if it was an hour, literally, we'd be going through notepad after notepad for
Right.
each episode.
it would be too much if it was an hour. Oh my God, my head would explode.
It would.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry. All right. Well, let's start from the beginning. We start with
Very good
Marshall.
place
We're
to
very
start.
excited. Gets accepted into the film festival.
Yay, Marshall
Um,
gets to go to New York City.
Now, he asked Tara if she would be able to go. She can't because she has midterms, and
Papa.
he gets even more excited because he's able to ask.
Axe.
about to
He gets
ask
to axe his
Max.
dad.
He's about to ask Max, his father, if he could go. And which is kind of cute because, as we've spoke about before, we kind of feel like Marshall has his daddy issues and
Who
And
doesn't?
mommy issues. He's
yeah.
got more mommy issues than daddy issues, I think.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Parent
let's
issues.
Let's speak about that, Allie, because you're new. So
Yeah, tell us.
I mean, we really ripped this apart, so I'd love to hear a new
Yeah, tell
perspective
us.
of this. So as far as Marshall and his whole personality, where do you think his issues? Where are they stemming from?
Well, honestly, I think that before he sort of accepted that, well, he hasn't really accepted that he's gay yet. I think he's sort of coming to deal with it.
Right.
But before he was even close to that, I think that his issues were mainly, my mom is ruining my life. No one understands me. And now that he's sort of coming into his own, I feel like he's sort of getting selfish. Like he feels like he's entitled to things and things should be a certain way just because he took that step. And I think that he needs to calm it down a little bit. I don't know. He gets himself sort of thrown into these situations and he deals with it the way a 14-year-old would deal with it,
Right.
essentially. And he's supposed to be this more mature family member. But then when it comes to his relationships, he recedes back into this 8th grade catty. I'm going to like 2 boys at once and treat everyone badly, but it's all going to work out for me.
We spoke about Marshall going
slut.
well, of course, yeah, he's a slut last week. But going this rebellious stage that he's going through right now, he's definitely shocked us the past few episodes, making out with 2 boys at the same time, asking Lionel to fuck him last week.
Oh my God. That's right. I forgot about that.
I
That
don't
was
know how you forgot
awesome.
about that. Our mouths dropped when you asked
I
that.
know. That was amazing.
And the reason I say daddy issues is because the past few episodes he's been kind of digging deeper into what his father's past is. I mean, we know so much about Tara, we know nothing about Max.
That's true.
And the whole scene with him going to his father's house and his father's mother's house, and seeing the Christmas room and kind of understanding what his father went through, and then realizing that Max's dad actually left his mother, and finding out, well, would you ever leave Mom? Would you leave Tara? And that's kind of the pull that we've been seeing with Max lately. They've kind of pushed away from that, though.
Well, you do have to admire him for sticking around as long as he has.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, but even within this episode, we kind of see, hey, Max has some issues of his own.
Mm-hmm.
Flying issue.
Yes, he is really afraid to fly, but it even stemmed further than that. So they go on the plane, which it's like, how convenient Kate is your flight attendant.
Well, I think they flew on a buddy pass.
But that automatically means that she's going to be the flight attendant for that? Was this the normal flight that she does?
So.
I mean, how many airports are in Kansas?
Well, that's, I guess
That's
One.
it's just one big giant
There's
runway.
just one big airport.
Kansas is one big runway.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. And they kind of double booked the trip because Kate wants Max and Marshall to meet this Evan, the new guy who she met.
The boyfriend.
That was quick.
I mean,
Yeah.
what has this been, 2 weeks? That
No,
she's
it has
known
to be
him?
longer.
Really?
In the span of the TV show. I mean, for us, it was 2 weeks.
Yeah, but was
But
it
I mean, it
before or
has
after
to be
Charmaine
longer.
had the baby?
That she met him
Yeah.
after.
don't
I mean,
know.
I guess it can't be that
it
long.
seems it seems very short, and I mean, even last episode, she was nervous to have him come inside and
Right.
meet anybody.
To the baby shower.
But
Slash-
okay, it's important for them, and they clearly they've been. I mean, I guess they've gotten accustomed to the fact that we can only see each other at the airport because they set up this romantic dinner where I don't know what kind of jacket she was wearing. It looked like Prince William's wedding attire.
Oh my God. It was like an old lady sweater. It was a full-on old lady sweater. I don't know where she got it from, but it was so ugly.
Kate's outfits are just crazy.
They're awesome.
They were so much cuter in the beginning.
Did you see her
She's a
bare
lady now.
overalls that she had at the beginning of the season?
When she was going to Japan.
Yes.
I want those.
I think she wear them
By the
next
way,
week.
I will find them. I'll have to make them.
I think you should. But except you have Snuggles,
Snuggles.
the bear.
Who's Snuggles the bear?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
In the detergent commercials.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Oh my goodness. So
I actually have a version of him at home, not at my house, at my parents' house.
You have a generic Snuggles.
No, it's the real Snuggles. I mean, not the one from the TV commercials. Come to life, living
you
at my house.
kidnapped him.
I kidnapped him. No, I think it came with the fabric softener when I was a child, and I still have him.
Oh, I would be so jealous of you. So
You should
anyways,
be.
Max is on the airplane, freaking out, and doesn't really know how to contain himself. Did he take the pills already?
No,
He hadn't
no,
taken-
no.
that
He
was on the ride.
He stole them from Tara.
So he stole Tara's pills, and he makes a comment to Marshall about don't get your hopes up.
Yeah, he says there's a lot of people in this world. Don't get your hopes up.
Not the right thing to tell your son in this moment.
No, such a dick thing to say.
And not that, I've always, since, the past 2 seasons, I've always looked at Max like he kind of has kept the family together. He's kind of been the glue that holds everybody intact and been the most sane person.
Who, Max?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so to see him on this plane acting like this and
Like a crazy person.
yeah,
Literally like a crazy person. If there was an air marshal on that flight, he would have been removed. He was insane.
No, they only had a regular marshal.
Only a regular marshal. A ground marshal, not an air marshal. So once they hit the ground, then they can arrest him.
So they fly and they stopped. Where did they stop?
St. Louis.
St. Louis, the gateway to
Hell.
no, the East Coast.
Sorry. The gateway to what?
The East Coast.
St. Louis?
That's where they stopped. That's what Evan said it was.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I had no idea what he said. I couldn't understand him.
And we find out, Evan has a son, which we knew.
Which
but
we knew.
find out that his son is a little brat
Monster.
named
Awful.
Devil
Monty.
child. Devil
Monty.
child.
Monty.
That is the exact child that I would not want on my flight.
No.
Or like in your life.
In my life. The kid is literally just screaming to the top of his lung in every scene. First of all, why is your child up on a second floor while you're
By
sitting
himself.
down?
Like, what is wrong with you? Go get your kid.
And as he's
Yeah.
throwing napkins down upon them.
And where did he get those napkins from? Like, this kid is running loose in the airport. Like, something's wrong. I would kill him. I would literally kill that child.
Oh my goodness.
I love
And it's
how Evan brought him the truck because he didn't know how old Marshall was.
Yes.
And he brought him the truck and he's like, oh, I'm too old for that. Meanwhile, when the kid's dropping napkins, Marshall's catching them
I
like
know.
he's a small cat swatting at them.
Very true. Very true.
Like, no trucks, but napkins are cool.
Napkins are awesome. Floating napkins.
And this kind of speaks to obviously the relationship that Kate and Evan are about to enter. Kate's kind of thinking twice about, do I want to be in a, I love him. He's perfect.
Well, not love.
It's like
Not
in her
yet.
head.
In her head. Okay.
In her head, I'm gonna say it's
You've
love.
gone into her
because
mind.
you've
Okay.
already and you like went out of your way to make your father and your brother meet.
That's true. And
That's
they
awkward.
do go like out of their way to like set up times to meet at the airport,
and
which is
A
strange.
rendezvous.
the creepy hotel with stains on
And the
wall.
creepy hotel. That's right.
It's good to see Kate thinking twice for once, though.
Yes, I will.
As opposed to
definitely-
acting.
Yeah.
Well, she's
very
already
impulsive.
acted. Now she's kind of like, wait, what am I doing?
She's backtracking. Well, sort of. I mean, she says that she likes him, but she doesn't know if she can deal with the kid. But she still likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, then
They are a package deal.
Mm.
well, that, but also Kate, she's not, I don't think she's fully thinking it through because the child is a reflection of Evan.
That's true.
Or is the child a reflection? He's a product of divorce, and he's acting out.
That, obviously, Evan's traveling a lot, so he doesn't really have time to be there.
So the kid doesn't see him as like a disciplinary.
He has no control
that
over
word?
this child.
I'd be curious
None.
to see what he's like with the mother, though.
Right? See, that's what I'm saying. Probably with the mother, he's better.
Although,
Well,
I don't
maybe.
know if I can handle any more screen time with this kid.
I know.
I'm
I
just-
never want to see that child again.
Like,
I would like drop kick it. I swear.
it just makes you hate him in real life too.
Yeah.
Like, I bet you're just like that.
I bet you are that child. You got cast in this part because you are that annoying child who showed up to the audition and would not shut up. I hate you.
Or just got brought along for some staff. Like, we
Right.
could use him. We need a really awful child next week.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what that whole situation is where that's gonna go with Kate. As they're sitting.
I
there.
like her with Evan though. I think
Really?
they're really sweet together, and I think they balance each other out.
See, it's such a on Vampire Diaries we talk about.
I love that show.
You should do it.
Bring it.
Totally do it with us.
That sounded dirty.
You should totally do it with us. Their romance to me is very Twilight. I'm a person
On Vampire Diaries?
on
Oh.
Vampire with Stefan and Elena. But we're not getting into
Hands
that.
up.
Hold on.
Okay.
No, he
Hold
put
this
his
down.
hand
I
up.
will
We will put
smack
this
you.
down.
Okay.
Well, okay, off topic. Are you Damon or Stefan with Elena?
I like Damon better,
Okay.
but
yeah.
that's like my.
Well, and so here's the reason for what bothers me with this relationship. In any relationship.
Damon
me-
and Elena, Stefan and Elena, or are we
Stefan
talking
and
about Kate
well,
and
both.
Evan?
Kate
We're
and
paralleling.
I know.
yes,
okay,
we are.
paralleling.
We're paralleling Stefan and Elena
Uh-huh.
to Evan and Kate.
I need to write this down so I can see where you're going. Stefan and Elena.
So
I'm
here
a
we go.
visual learner.
He's going to make a flow chart.
I am. Uh-huh.
Hold on.
And then it's Evan and Kate. Okay, go.
So here we go. I'm a person where, to me, a relationship is based off of friendship.
Uh-huh.
And you have to grow and you have to experience and you build off of that. I'm not one for...
Passion.
Yeah, there is passion in that because if you look at Damon and Elena, there's passion there,
Yeah.
but they've also grown to like each other. They've grown to fall in love. Whereas
Mhm.
Stefan and Elena, it was like, oh, it's this fairy tale storybook, and it's the same thing with this guy. He could be a mass murderer. We don't know anything about him. She just sees him in an airport. She slept in a hotel with him, and they're having dinner dates at the airport.
Yeah.
Now you met his son, who he has really no probably contact with, and he can't handle it. He's always traveling. To me, that's just a storyline for down the road. There's going to be a bigger issue
Right.
with their relationship.
I can see that, yeah. I mean, I can see it becoming like a problem. I mean, granted, they don't even live in the same city yet or at all. And Kate does say to him while they're on their date, why can't we live in the same city? And he does say back to her, life's not that neat.
Clearly.
Which,
he knows about that.
I mean, they have their issues, but I think, at the end of the day, they do balance each other out to a certain degree.
He
Their
just
craziness.
still reminds me of the pedophile that we spoke about last
I know,
week.
he does look like a pedophile. He does. I know. And it might just be because the actor that they chose might just be too old
Yeah.
in comparison to Kate, like in real life, and that's why it's creepy. But as far as the relationship goes, I don't know. I have hope for them.
Well, and I mean, I could see them taking this as this being her way to get out of her
Right.
hometown.
Yeah.
She's always been looking to leave, and here's somebody who's always on the go, and it could be her way out.
It's perfect for her.
So then we get to Little Miss Tara. The whole family at the beginning of the episode had gone to this corn maze.
Tara.
To the
for-
pumpkin harvest.
Yes, the pumpkin harvest. And everyone's walking through, and it seems like a fun little day of hanging out with the family. People
A
have
corn maze seems awesome to me.
yeah, like a whole lot
I
of
would
fun.
love that.
Oh.
I would, I swear.
Walking around giant stuffed bananas.
Oh my God.
and whatnot.
I want that banana.
Just seemed like a very hot day to me. And then all of a
Well,
sudden,
what's her face? What's her name? Charmaine is complaining about the heat, and she's like carrying the baby, and she's like, "Does this really anyone's like idea of fun? It's like 80 degrees outside."
I cannot stand Charmaine. She is my least favorite character.
Really?
Why
Yes.
so?
She is such a pain in the behind. She just never, like, everything's a problem. Everything's an issue. And here's, Neil is this guy that's basically saying, I will do everything for you. And it's like not good enough for her. Meanwhile, she cheated on the last guy she was going to marry. Like, Charmaine's no peach,
Right.
And at that point, I think if you're that far along in your life and you've met so many failures in relationships, you should probably just settle down and take what's handed to you, especially when it's willing to do anything for you.
And by handed, you mean having a baby with him. Yeah, and I definitely agree with you on that. She has the spoil. She's the youngest daughter, correct?
I
She's
think
believe so.
She seems like the youngest daughter,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I feel she kind of has that syndrome there.
Mm. And then she chose, right after Neil's been gone, now she chooses that she needs a day to herself. Like, why don't you wait till he gets back to take this day instead of giving your child to your unstable sister?
Well, it's hard. It's hard out there for a pimp. It's hard being a single mother, and she does want to take time for herself, but sometimes you can't wait, for the man to show up, right?
Well, it's
And
also
your sister lives next door.
it's interesting because they brought the mother back a couple episodes ago, and then they didn't really talk about her exiting or
Yeah, she just disappeared.
yeah.
Into
She
thin air.
wanted to be there for the child more, and girl, where'd you go?
Right? Call grandma. Where is she?
So they're in this corn maze, and all of a sudden, Tara turns into chicken.
Well, some guy jumps out and scares her.
Yes, which is so random because it's like the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's so annoying.
So it must be around Halloween because they were carving pumpkins.
yeah,
or-
it has to be. It's a pumpkin harvest.
Maybe that's all there is to do in Kansas.
Yeah, actually, you know what?
Cornfields and pumpkins
All year round.
all year round. Amazing.
What are we
I
gonna do
love
this weekend?
pumpkin pie.
So she turns into chicken after being scared and runs and hides in a shed, and she's curled up and she keeps saying, "It hurts, it hurts."
Let go of me. It hurts. Let go
Yes.
of me. It hurts.
I love the way that the show kind of sets everything up. It was kind of predictable.
Very.
Last week we spoke about how
We spoke about who we thought the new altar was.
yes, and then this week at the beginning of the episode they kind of recap everything that's going on. They haven't talked about the half brother since second season,
Right.
and they brought that back.
And they
today.
brought it up.
It's like, could
Right.
have left it.
They shouldn't have done that.
No.
It sort of spoiled it for the end, but
Whatever.
I think they did want you to remember who that person was.
So
Do you remember the time?
now then we cut to the scene of them in the kitchen. And
Sorry.
Max keeps asking Tara about the crazy lady who was acting like a 5-year-old in the cornfield. I don't think that was really appropriate. of
No.
him
No.
to,
Yeah.
to approach her in that
Like, why-
manner, like
I mean, you know who it was.
Yeah.
It's
He
not-
immediately knew who it was. He was like, "Oh, it's chicken."
but within that Tara doesn't really remember what had happened.
No.
breached the contract.
Yes. So of course Tara's not going to go talk to Dr. Hattaras, so Alice goes for her, and again breaches the contract once again.
Yeah.
And she explains that chicken goes missing.
Says
and
there's an emergency.
yes, and shows the cut on her arm,
Yeah.
which
She says that Tara needs help.
Tara's in a bit of a pickle.
Yes.
it's.
She said.
I kind of wish they
Exactly
would
like that.
explain how much time is going between these episodes because no one saw the cut on her arm this entire time.
Right? Yeah.
Like-
Well, she's covered it. She's wearing long sleeves all the time, and at the beginning of the episode, she's cleaning it.
Yeah.
She's wearing that flowy top.
Okay.
Which, okay, so if she
We'll
knows,
play with it.
if
So
she
I
knows,
think it was from the one day to the next because it still looked pretty fresh, the cut.
so it was just really deep. But what I want to
Yeah,
know is
I
if
like
she
that.
knows that she has, obviously she knows she has this condition, whatever, and she sees this cut on her arm and she doesn't know where it came from.
Right.
Should be a bit of an inkling to you that maybe
Like
something
something is
happened,
awry.
and then she just insists on holding the baby. Like, take a minute. Think about it. You wake up with a cut on your arm that you don't know where it came from, and you have multiple personalities. Last thing you should be doing is holding a baby.
It's true. That is a very good point.
That's
Why
just-
did she take the baby?
Well, I mean, we know that she has this urge to care for a child.
To mother, yeah.
And we still don't know what that stems from. But when Alice went to go, this is funny because another topic that we talk about is Dr. Hattaras brought up that Tara uses excuses.
Yeah.
And that's where this whole multiple personality disorder stems from. So I'd also like to hear your take, Allie, of do you feel that this is a legit mental disease, or do you feel like it is something that is caused more so from trauma and it's subliminally caused in your conscious to make up excuses as far as not remembering? What's your take
On DID.
DID?
That's a good question, actually. I would have to say that I think it is a way for the body to deal with trauma and shock. Like when something happens to you, you may not always remember what it is, but I think that ever since that point, your body will experience something to shut it out. And that's why people have suppressed memories. Like, you're not born with suppressed memories. You develop them after something happens to you. And I think it works in a similar fashion, which is,
You're too smart. Get out. I didn't understand half the words you said.
If it makes you feel better, I think you look like John Stamos.
Thanks. I'll take that.
Okay, so you can say.
You can say.
And this was the perfect example. When she showed the cut, it was like crying out for help.
When Alice showed the cut, right?
Yeah, I'm physically hurting. I'm physically, and well, not even that, and also the fact that, Alice said we can't tell Tara, we can't talk to Tara. Tara's not here. I'm here, and the fact that she had to go ask somebody else to speak on her behalf, and to show that she's been hurt and been hurting herself.
Mm-hmm. But then Hattaras goes to try and ask her who did the cut, and she's like, I can't tell you. Yeah. She knows. They all know who it is, but I don't understand why they can't vocalize it yet.
Well, especially when you go to Dr. Hattaras
right,
to
help.
talk
Why
to him
can't you
about-
just tell him?
Yeah, I didn't understand. I mean, unless since each one of them stems from Tara, maybe if they say it out loud, then Tara will know.
Right. That would make sense, yeah. Or maybe they're just afraid of him.
I think.
But then again, Alice wasn't the one in the corn maze, so how would she know that chicken was missing? It's a weird.
Right. Well, because they're all part of Tara, so they all know what's going on, but Tara doesn't seem to be aware of anything at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's sort of back to where she was before she did the contract,
Right.
where they just take over when they please, and then they drop her off when.
Right, when they're done with
Yeah.
her, and then she doesn't remember a thing.
Sounds like my weekend.
At least with this, with them doing it this time, it's all to protect her, in the sense.
Yeah.
They
They are trying to protect her.
They're not being hazardous to her. So she's with the baby. Charmaine gives her the baby because Charmaine needs her day off, and she.
Yeah,
goes
but
to
Charmaine's so rude. Tells her that she needs to go pay her bills and go to the bank and just be truthful. Be like, I want to get a manicure and pedicure. I want to go shopping. I want to get my hair done.
I want to be racist.
I want to be racist.
What? I mean,
I want to get wasted. Give me a break.
Just had a baby. Come on.
I know. I need a day to myself.
So she's watching the baby, and Dr. Hattaras comes, and she had to go put the baby down, correct?
Yeah, she says that he's upsetting the baby.
Yeah.
And so she says she's going to go put the baby down before they start talking. Because I'm assuming that she knows that once she starts talking to Hattaras, she's probably going to go in and out of her altars.
Okay.
So she's being
smarter.
responsible, I think, to go put the baby down, but then...
So she doesn't throw it down a laundry chute.
Right.
Which I was so afraid.
Oh, God. I was waiting to hear the thud.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for.
Well, when the baby stopped crying, I thought she was smothering it in the other room with a pillow.
That was my second. Yep.
Well, you know what? I honestly, because last episode when they showed the previews for this week, they showed that clip of Tara in the shed, and it looked like she had killed something, or.
And he does in the preview. He did say who killed her.
Yes. So in my head, I'm like,
oh my god!
If they
I
really
did go to that point too.
Oh really?
I went there. Yeah.
Last week I thought they said that chicken is dead.
Well,
did they?
They did say that, but.
But in the shed, you couldn't see what she was holding.
It was a stuffed animal.
It ended up being like a bunny stuffed animal. We saw later.
But last week they didn't fully show that. It just showed something in her hand. I was like, if they take this to the baby dying,
that would have been awesome.
They do that with a lot of the episodes. They show next week and they show all this stuff that you're just like, oh my god! But then you figure out less than halfway through, you're like, that's not gonna happen. I already know it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So she turns into this altar, who we still
the new one.
For the first at first I kind of felt like it might have been T.
I thought it was T at first too.
At first,
yeah,
being like, we're not gonna talk to him. Like I don't have to, just to try and protect Tara in that way. But she jumps out of a window, apparently, which was upstairs, because she went upstairs
with the baby.
Yeah, and ends up waking up on a bus in the middle of nowhere,
aka Kansas.
Yeah, going to. Doesn't look like we're in Kansas anymore. Ends up
actually it did.
Going to the same exact cornfield that she was at earlier.
My favorite line, FYI, just so you know, was when Hattaras showed up and he said, I didn't know I was going to find you with a little old man in a pink hat. And I thought that was genius. Sorry, I had to say that. It's genius. It's so funny.
They are pretty similar.
They are wrinkly, bald.
They'll wipe them.
They have to wear diapers.
Oh. They drool.
They
talk nonsense.
Exactly. No teeth. It's genius.
And of course we see him sitting in the shed with Tara, and he asks, "Who killed Chicken?" Because Tara's sitting there crying as Tara. Who is she crying at?
I think she's crying as Tara.
Yeah?
Because they're walking through the maize field, and she goes, I can hear Chicken. He's like, do you remember anything? What do you see? And she's like, I smell earth, I smell sweat, and I remember games. And he says, does that remind you of anything from your childhood? And she goes, Chicken is screaming. And then she goes running.
When she was crying, though, she sounded like Chicken. Like, it sounded like a little girl's cry.
And then also, to me, it's almost a part of, like, if you're trying to get away from all these personalities.
Right.
Why are you crying? Like, how do you subconsciously know somebody else killed Chicken if you know that you really are Chicken? Because she used to call herself Chicken as a child. And
well, she said there was a hole where she
says, I can't feel her anymore.
I guess, I mean, because she alters when she slips into her alters when she feels certain emotions. When she needs to be tough, she goes into Buck. When she needs to be a better mother, she goes into Alice. And I guess when she needs to recede into that childlike personality and she can't do it, something, I mean, how long she's always been able to do it.
Right.
Or for as long as we've been introduced, as long as we've seen the show that she's been aware of it, we know that she can do that. So I guess when she can't do it, she has to know something's wrong.
Right. And there is the contract is still there. No one might be following it anymore, but
well, I think they're following it. I think that
to a certain extent, yeah.
As Alice said, this is an emergency.
Yeah, it's an emergency. We got to take over.
Tara.
So Dr. Hattaras, she's crying. Dr. Hattaras asks who killed Chicken, and she turns into Bryce. Who we
which
find
is so
out.
Exciting.
Now this is where it gets confusing for me, because it's like, how do you turn into somebody who's a real person?
Right.
That
she's created an altar of someone who is in existence.
Right.
Which is a little like head trippy, but also Bryce isn't really aware of Tara, if you notice. He says that he's going
to find her.
He wants to he needs a car because he wants to go find Tara to kill her. So Bryce isn't really aware that he's inside of Tara, I don't think yet.
Well, that and then
which might be a little confusing for me
I also kind of
at the moment.
could feel that they're taking this to the point of she had to create this altar to basically explain what this altar is basically going to explain what happened
to
in her past.
her.
And because we can't find, because Bryce isn't present in Tara's life, she has to create the fact of she's still afraid that somebody is out there who hurt her and could always come back, because
Right.
maybe he did always come back, or whatever the case might be. And Dr. Hattaras plays with this. You know, he doesn't, and he entertains it and leaves with Bryce.
Right, which is the first time we're seeing him, because earlier on he did say that he doesn't know what he believes in anymore, which I think is
So
interesting.
dramatic.
So dramatic, because when Alice showed up to talk to him, he was listening to his old recordings of Kite Boy with him, which was great.
Well, he also was really affected when he saw the cut on Tara's.
Right. He's like starting to believe that there's an issue. There's definitely some sort of issue that he's actually starting to believe in. I don't know if he necessarily believes in her multiple personalities, but I think when Bryce comes along, he's definitely going along for the ride.
Well, this is because I think deep down he sort of knows that it's not just a show and it's not just an act, that this happened, and because he didn't know how to really deal with his previous patient, this might be his way of redeeming himself, because it was all
Right.
over the news that his patient thought he was a kite and
Right.
jumped off a building.
It's all done.
Oh my goodness.
Who hasn't been through that?
I know, right?
So I mean, overall, I wasn't crazy about the episode.
Don't lie, it was awesome.
Did you really think it was awesome?
I loved it. I love the way it ended.
Oh, I love the way it ended.
Yeah.
But usually we get, I mean, I love the way it started and I love the way it ended.
Yeah.
I think in the middle they kind of lost me. I think the
It was like a
Charmaine
little
story-
bit. The storyline there was like a little stupid. We all get it. She's like a new mother, and like she might have like some postpartum depression issues. Possibly she might just be like stressed out because her husband's gone. We get it. Like I don't think they needed to introduce that like new lady for her to be like, yo, it's okay to
No,
like
drink your
neglect your
martini.
children.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 3. They're alive.
They're fine. I tried to kill myself. It's okay. We get it. Single mothers have problems raising their kids when they're by themselves. It's hard. I understand. I feel for you.
We didn't need to see it.
But we didn't need to see it.
No.
It was unnecessary.
No, but I mean, like how we said at the beginning, the first 6 minutes there was so much introduced.
So
to
much
us.
happened.
Then
Yeah.
at the end, it was such a big bang, and just in the in between for me
It was a
didn't-
lot of fluff. I
And then
think that like
there was no resolution even with Max and Marshall.
No. Well, it's not sort of, not really, I guess.
I guess that Marshall learned that Max learned nothing.
Yeah.
He was like, no, I'm there for you. I'm fine. And then is soon right back to where he was, which seems
Right.
to be a theme for all the characters in the show.
Yeah, yeah.
No matter how much they accomplish, they always revert right back.
They do try.
So could the
They're
show
trying.
could the show
They are
push
trying.
forward once they start moving forward though?
Once the characters start moving forward,
Yes.
if the characters start moving forward,
Would we have a United States? Would we be able to?
Of course
don't
not.
know.
Because all drama is
All the
conflict.
drama would be gone, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wonder where they're going to take, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it later, if I remember.
Well, so please, bring it up now because you did this last week. Guys, I have to tell you guys something really important. I thought of the most craziest thing for the episode. Start the show off. Hey,
Then I
David, what did you want to
forgot.
talk about? I don't remember.
I'm going to write it down.
Okay, so you write it down. And
Leave me alone.
any last thoughts
Like that
before we go to a
memory.
commercial break about the episode thoughts or what we? No.
You know, I like the Max Marshall storyline. I thought it was nice to see them together, just like the two of them going on the trip. I did also feel like that storyline could have been a little cleaner.
Yeah.
One of the things I wanted to bring up was when Max is on the plane with Marshall and she sort of walks away and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of her. You know, if you only saw how she met this guy and what she offered to him within an hour of meeting him, meanwhile, Marshall's busting his ass to do this movie thing and he just tells him, don't get your hopes up. Like, why? I mean, Kate is like the world-renowned failure of the family. Like, she just cannot get anything done. And Marshall's the mature one who is actually trying to make his life better than what it is. And meanwhile, he's, just giving Marshall the boot and being like, oh, I'm so proud of my daughter that wanted to do it with a stranger in the bathroom.
Because she's doing better. Leave her alone.
Well, Kate's very reminiscent of Charmaine.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about
Yeah.
it.
They do have a lot of the same personality traits.
Mm-hmm. Poor Marshall. Just issues all over.
Issues all over. Also, why didn't he offer to take his boyfriend with him? Like, he can fly for free. His sister's a flight attendant. Why doesn't he just take him with him? That kind of
Lionel?
upset me.
Which one?
Noah.
I don't think he really likes him.
I don't think he does either, but he made the movie with him. I don't know. That kind
Wait,
of bummed me out.
you don't think Marshall likes Noah?
Yeah, I think he just has sort of been using him. He's in his pimp phase.
So what do you think as far as the whole triangle between him,
Noah and
Lionel,
Lionel.
Noah?
I think that Marshall likes Lionel more than Noah, but I don't think he likes them as much as, I think it's just something to occupy his time. It's like, well, I'm gay, like this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and he's just sort of going with it because he doesn't know. He's still new at it. He's not a seasoned gay, I guess.
And it's also funny how I'm thinking back of it, he lied to Noah.
Yep.
When Noah said,
Yes,
did you
he
call
did.
Lionel? And he said, no. Really? Really? Because
Really?
you wanted a little more than a phone call that night.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted your sugar and your ice.
He wanted a booty call.
Oh, my God.
Well, Marshall is just being reckless.
Sexually reckless.
Good for him. Wrap it up.
I was just going to say, wrap it up. And we're going to be reckless as soon as we come back from this commercial break with our predictions.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come off.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Oh, shit.
We're back, and David's swearing.
What are you saying?
I'm cueing your music.
Oh, thank you.
So predictions.
I feel like Miss Cleo.
Right?
Cleo, I don't think you really know. So next week they're at the movie premiere and
In New York City.
holla.
Holla.
Where do we think this is gonna go?
As far as what? What do you think? What are you asking?
Where do we think Marshall and Max's relationship is going to go? Do we think because we kind of saw? I saw Max act a little crazy in the movie theater.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what the movie is because we haven't seen what type of movie Marshall made yet, and he brings his father with him. So I guess that's going to depend on what the movie's about. Did anyone catch the title of the movie? Because they did show us the title.
It looked like there was something in French.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Right,
I didn't catch it. I didn't write it down. But I guess we'll see what the movie's about, and then we'll see where the relationship goes from there.
I have a feeling Max is not going to like it, whatever
Yeah,
it is.
I don't think he's going to be very happy.
Or he's going to see himself in a different light. Maybe that'll promote change within him.
No, definitely not.
Of course not.
Of course not. This is a TV show.
The next storyline that they are clearly going to stick heavily to next week is Bryce.
Bryce is the troublemaker, clearly.
Who is going to be running Tara's body for a while.
Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like.
Cooking
Or taking
dinner
over.
And Dr. Hattaras is going to allow this and kind of oversee things.
Well, yeah, I think he needs to see where Bryce is going with everything. I think he wants to figure out Bryce's angle.
I noticed that Gimme is gone.
Gimme.
Her id, was that it? That was one of her altars. It was very like animalistic, and he hasn't come back at all.
Well, he was under the table.
He was under the table when they made the contract. That was the last time.
That was the one time, yeah.
But yeah, no, he has not
He
come.
has not. And Buck has been awry. Well, he wasn't around this episode.
Well, it's
Yeah, not
interesting
this episode.
because Buck. I wonder what will happen with Buck.
Right.
Buck's gonna be a fighter, I think.
Yeah, because he's been searching. But how do you fight yourself?
You can't.
And
that's what's.
And then also,
it's interesting.
She's probably gonna just beat herself up, and we're gonna see it. We're gonna see her writhing around on the floor.
well, Bryce is gonna start causing some trouble as he tries to basically poison.
Tries to
Dr.
kill
Hattaras
Hattaras. Tries to kill him.
by putting crab in the food. Do we think that Bryce is going to go as far as to try and kill Terry next week, or do you think they're going to hold this
No, they're going to stretch it.
I think he's gonna try and kill off all the altars one by one until all he's left with is Tara. So it's sort of a showdown. But then if he kills all the altars, then
what's left?
It's almost.
But
then she's cured.
But that's true. But Bryce is a new altar. So technically, if he starts killing off the old ones, her mind might create new ones again to replace them.
That's true.
Like Chicken is gone, but maybe someone else will develop to take Chicken's place.
And I mean, and also this is one of the most different altars that we've seen. I mean,
Yeah.
It's malicious.
Very malicious.
She has
very
that
dark.
animalistic altar, but at the same time, this one is more, like we said, she's replacing an actual person.
Right.
She's portraying them, and it's almost like facing yourself. Now that we're killing all, like you just said, maybe she might kill all of her altars and be left with the fact of United States of Terror season 3. This is your last season.
It's possible.
And you need to see the man in the mirror, and the man in the mirror is you.
Thank you, Michael Jackson.
It's very deep.
It was
We had
very.
2 Michael Jackson songs tonight.
Did we?
What were you singing earlier?
I don't know.
We Are the World.
No.
Oh no, I don't remember.
It was
Me
Michael
neither.
Jackson.
It was not.
Yeah.
It was not Michael Jackson.
No, yes, it was. David.
I don't remember.
We're gonna rewind this, and
I'm
you're
gonna-
gonna be very
I know.
embarrassed.
I'm gonna be very embarrassed.
All right. Well, so any last final predictions before we head on out of here?
Was that all that happened in the?
Yeah, they really
It's a
did.
pretty shallow episode.
It was. Oh, that's what I wanted to say earlier.
Oh, right.
Which I wrote it down. It's here.
Did you draw it?
Please.
It looks like a drawing.
I have drawings.
He's
on
a
here too.
diagram.
I have a diagram and a doodle.
It's very nice.
I wrote where are they going to go with Bryce. That's what I wanted to talk about, but we sort of already discussed that.
Well, hopefully they bring him a lot of places. 'Cause we need a great episode next week because I was
No, it's going to be awesome next week.
Is it?
It is.
Have you
I
already
predict it that it's going to happen. Just like last week, I predicted the new altar was going to be Bryce, and I was right.
All right, Miss Cleo.
I got it. I intuit
Just
very
kidding.
well.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
No problem.
Allie, thank you for joining us tonight.
Anytime.
Yes, thank you.
And next week we will have Erin back with us.
Yay.
She ain't teaching them children no more.
I'm chilling.
Them chillins. But yes, have a great night, and also check out Glee tonight here on AfterBuzz with writer Ian Brennan will be in studio.
Shut up.
Yes,
That's
he's actually
amazing.
watching the episode right now, and he'll be answering questions for all you Gleeks out there.
Ciao.
And also
Peanut butter and jelly.
Saturday,
Yes,
check out David and Erin.
Yes, come see Erin and myself, and then if you're not busy tomorrow, go see Erin in her Mortified show.
Do it.
In Hollywood.
All right, kids. Till then, we'll talk to you later.
Ciao.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janedy, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.